Health teachers, this is the #1 tool you need to be using with your students. Hi, health and PE teachers, Janelle here, founder of Project School Wellness, your all-inclusive health solution for teaching skills-based health that is authentic and impactful. And I am so incredibly excited to share a brand new model for teaching kids how to manage their health. So I'm calling this the B.E.S.T model for healthy living. And like I said, I'm so excited about this. In testing it and using it in my own well-being, it has been quite transformative, and I just feel in my bones that it's going to be the same for you and for your students. So a little bit of background before we dive into this model. So I am in the process of redesigning the skills unit, the health skills unit within the Project School Wellness curriculum. So if you already teach the Project School Wellness curriculum, there are some updates coming in terms of the health skills model and the models and tools that we are going to use to teach our students how to actively use these skills in their daily lives. And with the new standards and just with how long it's been since these lesson plans were initially designed, I just have been feeling like it's time to make these more authentic, to make them more genuine so they can be more impactful for our students. And this is the first of this new bundle, this new unit, this new approach, you could say, to teaching the health skills. So for a little context, the health skills, if this is a new concept to you, are from the National Health Education Standards, and so it's a set of skills that we as health teachers can design our entire curriculum upon. And these skills are absolutely incredible because the skill itself stays quite static throughout our life, but how we use it and in connection to which health issues that we're dealing with in our life changes constantly. So it's this incredibly empowering way to teach health because the skills always stay the same, but it allows you to just adapt and be flexible and adjust to whatever health issue our students are dealing with. Because one TikTok, one video could go viral, and a new health issue that's impacting our students becomes the thing that we need to deal with in our class. And rather than having to throw everything out the window by teaching from this foundation of the health skills, we are able then to just adapt and move to the next thing with them. So this model is particularly designed in connection to that skill number 7, and I'll just read it real quick. Skill number 7 is demonstrate practices and behaviors to support health and well-being of self and others. So I like to just call this the skill of self-management. I am definitely not the one to originate that term, but I've seen people use it for years, and it's been what I have latched onto because I think that's really what it is. This is the crux of teaching kids how to manage their actual well-being and to be to help other people manage their well-being. So let's dive in. Let's look at what this model looks like and how you can use it in your own life, and then how you can teach students to use it. So the whole goal for this model was to give students a really quick and easy way to evaluate specific areas of their health and well-being, and then be able to put into certain behaviors and practices so that they can manage their health and well-being. So I think I'm so guilty of this, and I think a lot of teachers are guilty of this. We tend to either go too broad and I'd be like, tell me how your health is, or we go way too specific and we just focus on something like the wellness wheel. No shade to the wellness wheel. It's something I love and I have lots of resources about it, but I think sometimes it's not really practical necessarily on a day-to-day or moment-to-moment to just say, hey, check in with your well-being, analyze your wellness wheel. There's a lot of moving pieces to that, and so it's not always very practical. Whereas just saying, hey, tell me how your health is, that's too broad. So this is hopefully a sweet spot in the middle where we give students a very clear and concise ways to check in and evaluate their health. And then from that check-in, clear and concise ways to then enhance practices and behaviors that will enhance their health. So let's look at this. So you'll see the B.E.S.T model for healthy living. That B.E.S.T is an acronym, and each letter of the B.E.S.T word stands for a core area of students' well-being. So we want them to think, oh, B.E.S.T, oh, I know what that means. B is body, E is environment, S is self, T is social ties. So that they can check in with those things. So let's dive in. I'm going to show you how you can use this. We're going to start by looking at the posters that are provided with this lesson plan. Now again, if you already are using the Project School Wellness curriculum, this will be an update that is provided to you. But if you are not, I will share the link somewhere in this video and in the description for how you can access this poster and subsequent lesson plan. So the lesson plan is totally detailed lesson plan, all inclusive, comes with everything you need to teach it, step-by-step breakdown of how to teach a lesson, all of the teaching materials that you need, and as well as the posters. So we're gonna look at the posters. Now the posters that are here, there's a couple different iterations of the poster. The first one describes what each of these 4 quadrants are. So the 4 quadrants being B, body. So what's going on in your body, your physical self. We're not talking about how your body looks or the size of it. It's just about how your body feels and functions, because we want to have that body neutral approach, and we want to really focus on students nurturing an enriching relationship with their body. Then we have environment, which is in general the environment, outside, all of those things, but it's also more specific in terms of your surroundings and where you live, where you work, where you go to school, those types of things. Then we have S, which is self. So self is about knowing self and managing your mental health. And then we have T. I had to get a little creative here because it's hard to find a T word, but social ties. So this is your connection, your community, your sense of belonging, and those types of things. So that first poster just gives a breakdown of descriptions. The second poster gives students questions to ask themselves so they can check in with each of these 4 quadrants. And then the third iteration is ideas of what students can do to help manage or enhance each of those quadrants. And then the last one is a DIY type thing. It's in connection with the lesson plan, where students will actually take the Canva template and they then make it their own. They personalize it. So they outline what this ideally looks like in their life. They write out questions, like their own self-check questions, to monitor where they're at in terms of each realm, and then how they can manage it, which would be some quick ideas that they can use to manage that area of their health. So really, really key piece here is that this is a tool that students can personalize. So I am a really big believer that in health education, we as teachers it's not very empowering for us to tell students what ideals they should be living, because health is incredibly personal. It's incredibly unique and independent to each person. And I know that might be a little bit controversial, but I am a big, big believer that in health education, we need to give students frameworks for looking at their health, but then giving them the space and the tools and the education so they can personalize it. So that's what's happening here, is that giving students the concept of, okay, if you want to live a full and enriching life, these 4 areas are core areas of your life, but not necessarily telling them exactly what each of those areas needs to look like. And again, I know that's controversial, but health has to come within, right? It's about being connected to yourself. It's about embodied experiences. And if we really want students to live their best lives and to be able to manage their well-being, they need to be able to look inward and identify for themselves, these are the things that enrich my quality of life. Okay, I can dive into more of that on a different video, but let's actually take a look now. How do we use this? And I'm going to demonstrate actually in terms of just us as teachers evaluating our own health, because I fully believe that this is a tool you can use to manage your own well-being. And I say that from my own experience, because in designing this, it really came from me realizing I need a little bit better way to check in with my health, and I need a little bit better way to, come up with ideas to shift when I am in a low spot. And so that's why I'm very confident that you're going to be able to use this in your own life. So here's how I would, if we were in a workshop, or if I was in a class and I was using this or demonstrating how to use this, this is what I would do. So I would say, hey, close your eyes and just check in with yourself, and rate your overall well-being right now, your overall quality of life. So just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Okay, so after you do that, let's say that you gave yourself a thumbs up. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to use this BEST model as a way to check in with why am I a thumbs up, and as a almost like a gratitude activity to identify, hey, why am I a thumbs up, and to just appreciate why I'm a thumbs up. So again, it's all about, this whole model is all about giving students a very concise process for understanding what's going on with their well-being. So what we're going to do, thumbs up. So now we're going to say, okay, let's start at B, body. And I want you to identify, why are you giving it a thumbs up? Why are you giving your overall a thumbs up? Is it something in your body? Okay, so you can think about, oh, I went on a walk today, or oh, I slept really well last night, or I just had a great meal and I feel very nourished. Okay, those are some things we could check in with our body. Or I can say, you know what, I feel just at peace with my body today. Okay, that's great. So then we move to the next one. We say E, environment. Okay, so we're doing a scan. Again, we're thinking, it's all about looking inward. It's all about looking inward and really understanding what's going on in our life and our well-being. So now we have E, environment. So we can say, okay, you know what? Yeah, I feel pretty calm because my classroom is clean. Or yeah, I was able to clean my house last night, so I just feel at peace. Or yeah, like I'm just sitting here in this cozy spot on my couch and it's comfortable and I feel safe and secure. Environments. Or maybe I got to go to the beach, or I went on a hike, or I went on a bike ride, or on a walk, whatever your terrain is outside. Those are some different reasons why you could be giving yourself a thumbs up in terms of environment. Then we're going to go to S. You're going to check in with yourself. Oh, you know what? I feel really good because I feel a lot of purpose in my work. Or just checking in with my mental health bucket. And if you haven't seen the video on the mental health bucket, definitely check that out because it's another incredibly empowering tool. And so, okay, so maybe it's the mental health bucket. You're like, yeah, I'm managing things well. Then maybe we go to social ties, and like something for me is like, I've been texting with my book club. We have a meeting this week. We're going to hang out. So I'm feeling connected. I'm feeling like I belong. So those are ways we can quickly check in and scan our health and really understand what's going on in our well-being. Because ultimately what we want to do is we want students to be able to pause and look inward and really assess what's going on so they can make intentional choices about how they're going to manage their health and well-being. Okay, so let's now look at it from the point of view of if we rated negative. So again, if I'm like, hey, close your eyes, check in, and you rate yourself negative, I'm going to say, okay, let's dig a little bit deeper, right? Because what we're trying to do is, like I said, have this pause so we can make intentional choices. Because what often happens, and I'm speaking greatly from experience here, is that when I'm feeling down, I just default to specific coping mechanisms. And then after I'm in those coping mechanisms for a while, I'm like, this doesn't make me feel good. Like I still feel as bad as I did before. And I'm not, like I feel like just in this slump and I'm not feeling well. So what we want to do is bring pausing and more intention so that we can manage our well-being in a really thoughtful way. Now, I'm not saying that we can't engage in those, those coping mechanisms sometimes, like scrolling on TikTok for hours for myself or staying up way too late reading a book. But we want to be able to pause and really think about why we're doing those things and make intentional choices. Okay, so let's say rating negative, and let's say, okay, so look at I'm going to check in first, B, body. And I think, you know what? I didn't eat breakfast today. I'm hangry. Or, oh, I slept so bad last night. For me, I have a 3.5-year-old who likes to come into the room at like 3 most nights. So that lack of sleep is going to have an impact. Or, you know what? I just don't feel confident and comfortable in my body today. Or I haven't gone outside and done anything, like I haven't moved my body at all. All right, so maybe those are some reasons. Then we can go to E and we can think about, okay, environment. How am I, what's going on in my environment? Oh, I've been inside in my classroom working all day. I haven't gone outside, haven't seen sunshine, haven't felt fresh air, something like that. S, we can say, oh, my mental health bucket, it's overflowing. There's so much going on. Okay, that gives you a clear thing to identify what's going on in your health and well-being. And then T, social ties. Like, whoa, I have been so busy, with work, back to school or whatever. I haven't even been able to even get on the phone and connect with someone. So again, as we do this scan through our well-being, we can identify very specific reasons why we are feeling the way we can, or why we are feeling the way we are. And that awareness, that self-awareness piece, which is just massive, it can be, we then have clarity on, oh, you know what, I'm feeling overwhelmed because my office is a mess. I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna just, put on one song and clean for one song or something like that. Or, whoa, I see I haven't eaten today, right? You go and get food, you feel nourished, it puts you in a different state, those different things. So that is the power of this tool. And it's something that you can use in any class you teach and across the whole curriculum. Like, how amazing would it be if teachers, so let's say you run a little workshop for all your teachers, and I really think that this has the power to help teachers be more trauma informed and more trauma sensitive, and just to be able to better serve students in terms of their social and emotional well-being. So this could be an amazing SEL, social emotional learning project in school. So what you could do is, you as a health and PE teacher, you can teach this. You also can teach this to the teachers in your school, and they could print out the poster and put it in their classroom. And so when a student is struggling, they can just say, hey, take a minute to pause. Tell me about your best life. So maybe they can talk about it, or maybe they get a journal entry out and they just work through it. And then students can identify, let's say it's something like, maybe a kid's acting up and it's because you realize that they feel like no one wants to sit with them at lunch and they're feeling lonely. That's going to overtake everything, right? So this tool is so incredibly empowering. It's so many different levels of the education experience, of course, in health, but I really think it has the potential to just transform students' well-being across the board. So that is the B.E.S.T model. I am, like I said earlier, I'm so excited for you to use this. I think it's going to change your life. I think it's going to change your students' lives. And I think it's a fantastic way to meet the standard, that standard number 7 of, like I call it, the self-management skills, or maybe it used to be like practicing health-enhancing behaviors, and now I think they're just talking about practices and behaviors to support health. But I think self-management label is really easy for kids to understand, and so I like things that's easy for them to remember so that they can actually implement it into their life. All right, so that is the B.E.S.T model for healthy living. I am really, really, really eager for you to start using it, and also I'm really excited for you to see all of the new health skills models and lesson plans that I will be rolling out throughout this school year to help make the learning experience more genuine and more authentic, so that it's more impactful for students and that it's really helping them live these thriving lives. So if you liked this, if you found this valuable, please hit that like, comment something below, share it with a health or PE or just any teacher friend. Or I guess it doesn't even have to be a teacher friend. It could just be anyone that you feel like this model could be useful for them. And of course, subscribe so you don't miss any Project School Wellness videos. Now, I am really eager to hear how this goes. So let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.